For my engagement, my entire family tried to plan a trip to Bora Bora without my fiancé. When I refused to pay, they secretly went anyway using money I'd given them for bills. I found out on Facebook when my sister posted, "A wonderful day for a wonderful family. No fake smiles, no clowns." I commented, "Why?" My dad replied, "Didn't want to waste time on the clown who forgot who really matters." I smiled and typed back, "Surprise waiting for you when you get back." That same day, I made a decision. Hey everyone! Before we jump into today's video, I need your help. We've noticed the channel is losing some traction, and subscribing is one of the best ways you can support us. It's quick, free, and it helps us keep bringing you awesome content. Your support means the world. Let's keep this channel growing together. Thanks so much. Now let's start the video. I, 33 male, never thought a single Facebook post would blow up my entire family. But here we are. Some context first. I didn't go to college. At 19, I started working for a local HVAC company, learned the trade, and busted my ass. When I was 25, I took a risk and started my own business. Now I run a mid-size HVAC and solar installation company with 22 employees and contracts across 3 counties. Not bad for a guy who got laughed at by his own sister for just fixing air conditioners, right? My younger sister Serena, 26 female, has always been the golden child. She's in grad school, getting her master's in business administration, and never misses a chance to remind everyone she's the first real professional in the family. She's always posting on social media about her education journey and how she's breaking the cycle in our family. Meanwhile, I'm paying for her tuition, her apartment rent, her car payments, and pretty much everything else. She lives in this fancy downtown apartment that costs almost $2,000 a month because she needs to network with the right people. Now, before you start saying that's another dumbass who pays for entitled people for no damn reason, I'll tell you why I fund her life. When I was just starting my business and things were tight, Serena gave me $2,000 from her student savings. It wasn't a fortune, but it came at a critical time. I always remembered that, and when my business took off, I started helping her in return. And I had no problem in that. I was actually happy to help, and I make enough money. But what started as gratitude turned into expectation. It wasn't just Serena. I've been covering my parents' asses for years too. Their mortgage payments when they're a little short, every other month. Dad's truck repairs. Mom's credit card bills. Their utilities. All of it. And that's because Dad lost his job at the factory 5 years ago and hasn't found the right fit since then. Mom works part-time at a department store but spends more than she makes. They're both in their late 50s, but act like teenagers with their first credit cards. My dad's always going on about how family takes care of family whenever he needs cash. But that philosophy only seems to work in one direction. And my mom? She's got this martyr complex where she'll call me asking for money, then act like she's doing me a favor by letting me help out. "Oh, Drew, I hate to ask again, but we're a bit short this month. I know you'd feel terrible if we lost the house." I do what a decent guy who thinks like a normal human being would do. Helps his family because they can't help themselves. Now the thins is, my fiancée Megan has seen this pattern of them not really recognizing what I do for them for the 3 years we've been together. She never told me to stop supporting them, but she'd ask questions like, "Did they even say thank you this time?" Or, "Do they ever plan to handle their own bills?" I'd make excuses for them, but deep down, I knew she was right. Megan's different from any woman I've dated before. She's a nurse practitioner who works in the ER, tough as nails, but with this incredible compassion that drew me to her from day one. She grew up with nothing, like actually nothing. Foster care, scholarships, worked her way through school. She doesn't take shit from anyone, and she doesn't understand people who can't stand on their own 2 feet. My family never liked her since she was my girlfriend. They think she's cold and judgmental because she doesn't fall all over herself trying to please them like my previous girlfriends. The truth is, she sees right through their bullshit, and they know it. I didn't care about their opinion of her, and I proposed 1 month ago after a night shift at the hospital. Just brought her favorite takeout to her place and asked her when she was still in scrubs. When I called my parents to tell them, my mom's first question wasn't, "Are you happy?" but "Did you get a prenup?" My dad wanted to know if we were rushing into things. Serena didn't even congratulate me, just texted to ask if Megan was pregnant. That's the kind of support I get from them. Anyways, 1 week after the proposal, my parents called with what they said was exciting news. They wanted to plan a trip to Bora Bora to celebrate my engagement. "That's surprisingly thoughtful," I said, immediately suspicious. Then came the catch. Megan wasn't invited because she makes family gatherings awkward and doesn't understand our family dynamic. Oh, And they expected me to pay for the entire trip because it was my milestone, so it was only fair. I laughed, thinking they were joking. They weren't. Let me get this straight, I said. You want me to pay for a luxury vacation to celebrate my engagement? But my fiancé can't come. It's a family thing, Drew, my mom explained, as if that made perfect sense. Megan is going to be family, I pointed out. Not yet, she isn't, my dad chimed in. And this is about our family, the one you were born into. I told them no. They tried guilt trips, emotional manipulation, everything you see in your nightmares. My mom even started crying on the phone, saying she'd always dreamed of seeing Bora Bora, and how this might be the last chance for a real family vacation with everyone's schedules. Dad took a different angle, bringing up every favor he'd ever done for me since I was 10 years old. When those tactics didn't work, they sent in the big guns. Serena called me that night while I was watching the game. Hey bro, she said, using that fake, cheerful voice that always means she wants something. What's up? I asked, already knowing where this was heading. So, about this Bora Bora trip, she started. I think you're really missing the point here. I muted the TV. Am I? Yeah, this isn't about excluding Megan. It's about reconnecting as a family. Just us, you know. The way it used to be before. Well, everything changed. I could hear what she wasn't saying. Before Megan, before I started setting boundaries, we've always been there for each other, Serena continued. Remember when you were starting your business? How we all supported you? There it was. The subtle reminder of that $2,000 loan from 7 years ago. Look, she said, her voice softening. I've been stressed out of my mind with grad school. This vacation would mean so much to me. A chance to relax before finals and job interviews. Don't you want me to succeed? The emotional manipulation was so obvious it was almost impressive. Of course I do, I said. Then why are you making this so difficult? It's not like we're asking for much. Just a family trip. Just the four of us. Like old times. With Megan excluded. Do you think this makes sense? She sighed dramatically. It's not about excluding her. It's about including us. Your actual family. Megan is going to be my family too, I pointed out. But she's not yet, is she? Serena's voice had an edge now. Mom's really upset, you know. She cried for like 2 hours after you said no. Is that what you want? To make Mom cry? That's not fair. What's not fair is how you've changed, she said. You used to put family first. Now it's all about Megan and what she wants. It's about respect, I said simply. If you respected us, you'd do this one thing we're asking, she countered. After everything we've been through together. If you respected me, you wouldn't ask me to exclude my fiancé from a trip I'm funding? She went silent for a second. Fine, she said finally, her voice suddenly cold. If that's your final answer, then I guess we know where we stand. I guess we do, I replied. You're going to regret this, she said quietly, when you realize what you've thrown away. She hung up on me, and I just sat there for a minute, staring at the wall. The audacity of these people, man. Like I'm supposed to feel guilty for not funding their little vacation while they treat my future wife like garbage? Yeah, that makes total sense. It's funny how they always phrase it like, I'm losing something valuable. What exactly am I throwing away here? The privilege of being their free money dispenser? The joy of watching them take my money and then shit-talk me behind my back? Such a terrible loss. After that call from my sister, my dad texted, Son, don't let some woman control your life. You're making yourself look like a clown to please her. A real man stands with his blood family first, not some nurse who thinks she's better than us. You'll regret choosing her over us. Family is forever. Girlfriends are temporary. I just stared at my phone thinking, yeah, family is forever until I stop paying the bills. Then we'll see how forever works out. Didn't even bother responding. Then I got the silent treatment for a few days. No calls, no texts. I figured they were just regrouping and planning their next assault on my boundaries. Probably sitting around a table strategizing like they were planning a damn bank heist, except the only thing they wanted to rob was my wallet. Then my mom sent a text. We understand. Sorry for pushing. Let's talk soon. That was it. No more mention of Bora Bora. I thought I'd finally gotten through to them, that maybe they were actually respecting my decision for once. But then one afternoon while I was at the office, finishing up some quotes for a commercial job, when I decided to take a quick Facebook break, that's when I saw it. The first post on my feed was a picture from my sister. It showed my entire family, my parents, Serena, even my uncle who lives 4 states away, all on a pristine beach in Bora Bora. Clear blue water, white sand, those fancy overwater bungalows in the background. Everyone had those stupid tourist drinks with the little umbrellas and shit-eating grins. The caption read, "A wonderful day for a wonderful family. No fake smiles, no clowns." Posted 43 minutes ago. I stared at it, trying to process what I was seeing. They went to Bora Bora without telling me. After I refused to pay for a trip that excluded Megan, they went anyway. I scrolled through Serena's profile and saw more photos. Them boarding the plane 4 days ago, lounging by the pool, out on a boat tour, all with captions about quality family time and the people who really matter. My first thought was, how the hell did they pay for this? Then it hit me. The money I'd sent last month for Serena's tuition. The extra cash I'd given my parents to catch up on bills. They'd taken the money I provided for necessities and spent it on a luxury vacation I'd explicitly refused to fund. I felt something cold and hard settle in my chest. Not anger, not exactly, more like clarity. I commented on the beach picture. Why? Just that one word. I wanted to see what they'd say. My dad replied almost immediately. Didn't want to waste time on the clown who forgot who really matters. I read it twice. He keeps saying, the clown, they meant me, because I chose Megan. Because I wouldn't fund their vacation without her. Pretty rich coming from a guy who hasn't held down a real job in 5 years while his son pays all his bills. I didn't rage. Didn't vent. Just typed one more comment. Surprise waiting for you when you get back. Then I closed Facebook and picked up my phone. It was time to make some calls I had been delaying for too long. Before that, I opened my financial software and pulled up every transaction I'd made for my family. Serena's tuition payments, $38,000 over the past 2 years. Her apartment rent, $1,950 per month for 3 years. Car payments, insurance, emergency credit card bailouts, all documented, all organized. My parents weren't any better. Mortgage assistance, $1,200 to $2,500 every other month. Dad's truck repairs, mom's credit cards, utility bills, all of it, for years. I started printing everything out and organizing it into folders. Megan came into my home office and saw what I was doing. She didn't say anything at first, just put her hand on my shoulder. You finally had enough? She asked quietly. Yeah, I said. I'm done. She nodded. No smugness, no, I told you so. That's one of the reasons I love her. She doesn't need to be right. She just wants what's best for us. What's your plan? She asked, pulling up a chair next to me. Cut them off. Completely. No more money, no more bailouts, no more excuses. I was actually waiting for this monument to hit them where it hurts, and that vacation stupid thing, that was definitely my last freaking straw. They're not going to take it well, I snorted. That's an understatement. But I'm done caring. Then I called Serena's landlord. I explained that I wouldn't be covering any more payments. Next month's rent would be entirely her responsibility. Still riding that wave of resolve, I dialed the university financial office. I removed myself as the payment contact for Serena's tuition. The remaining balance for the semester, $21,500, was now due from her. Feeling the momentum build, I finally reached for my parents' mortgage information. I explained that I wouldn't be making any more assistance payments. Then utilities, insurance, credit card companies. One by one, I cut the financial cord. With each call, I felt a weight lifting. By the time I was done, I felt 10 pounds lighter. Literal euphoria. How you feeling? Megan asked when I hung up from the last call. Like I should have done this years ago, I admitted. But hey, better late than never, right? Right, she agreed. And Drew, I'm proud of you. This isn't easy. She was right. It wasn't easy. Some twisted part of me frankly felt guilty, like I was abandoning them. But after seeing those beach photos, the clown comment, the years of being taken for granted, I have no mercy anymore. They made their choice, I said. Now they get to live with it. Now, for the next 9 days, nothing. Complete silence from them. Just more vacation posts on Facebook. Serena sharing quotes about earning your success, while I was literally paying for the roof over her head. My parents posting about the importance of family, while spending my money on beachfront massages. I slept like a rock for the first time in years. They got back on a Sunday. I knew because Megan got a text from Serena. We need to talk. Now. It's an emergency. Megan showed me, then deleted it without responding. Around 7:30 p.m., there was banging on our front door. Not knocking, fucking banging, like someone was trying to break it down. Megan opened it before I could get there. My parents and Serena were standing on our porch looking sunburned, jet-lagged, and absolutely furious. My mom pushed past Megan without being invited. What the hell have you done? She shouted. Megan didn't back up an inch. He didn't do anything. He just stopped doing everything. My dad tried to play the reasonable one. Son, we got home to some very concerning notices. The mortgage company, Serena's school, the utilities. Funny how that works, I said. Almost like you can't afford your lifestyle without me funding it. Serena stepped forward, eyes red like she'd been crying. They're going to kick me out of my program. The bursar said I owe them $21,500 by Friday. Sounds like a you problem, I said with a shrug. Maybe start by selling all those designer bags I paid for. Or that MacBook you just had to have for school, but mostly use for Instagram. You know I can't afford that, she practically shrieked. And somehow that became my problem. Why? My mom turned on Megan like she'd been waiting for this moment. This is all you're doing. He was a good son until you poisoned him against us. He was a good son, Megan laughed. You mean a good bank? We're family, my dad insisted. Family take. I cut him out and let out a harsh laugh. That's freaking rich coming from you. Where was this family takes care of each other bullshit when you excluded my fiancé from your little vacation? Where was it when you called me a clown online? Where was it when you took money meant for bills and tuition to go sip cocktails in Bora Bora? I pulled out my phone and showed them the Facebook post. See this? No clowns. That's me you're talking about. The same clown who paid your mortgage last month. The same clown who funded your daughter's entire life. Serena started sobbing. What about everything we've done for you? I gave you money when you were starting out. You gave me $2,000 once, I said, my voice ice cold. I've given you over $200,000. Now you won't stop throwing that pocket change in my face while shitting on my career every chance you get. You want to compare receipts? Because I've got them all. Every single one. My dad stepped closer, trying to loom over me like he did when I was a kid. Didn't work anymore. I'm taller than him now, and a hell of a lot stronger from actual physical work. Listen here, he growled. You don't get to just decide. I don't get to decide what to do with my money? I cut him off. Actually, that's exactly what I get to do. My mom grabbed my arm. You can't do this to us. After everything we've... Get your hand off me, I said, my voice dead calm. She stepped back. I'd never spoken to her like this before. Get out, I told them. All of you. Now. Son, you can't let a woman come between... My dad started. She's not coming between anything, I cut him off. She's standing beside me, which is more than any of you have ever done. They left with threats and tears, my mom calling me ungrateful, my dad warning I'd regret this, Serena sobbing about her ruined future. When the door closed, Megan looked at me. You okay? I nodded. Never been better. And I meant it. The next morning, my phone was blowing up with texts and voicemails. I ignored them all. Instead, I went to work like nothing had happened. Business as usual. My second-in-command, Mike, noticed something was up. You seem different today, he said, as we were reviewing the week's schedule. Different how? I don't know, man. Lighter. Like you got laid last night or something. He grinned. I laughed. Nah. Just finally cut some dead weight. By midday, my dad had shown up at the office. Janet, our receptionist, called back to my office. Your father's here, she said. Says it's urgent. Tell him I'm in a meeting, I replied. A meeting that's going to last until he leaves. 20 minutes later, Janet called again. He's still here. Getting pretty insistent. I sighed. Fine. Send him in. Dad came in, looking like he'd aged 10 years overnight. His eyes were bloodshot. His usually neat polo shirt wrinkled. Son, he started, then stopped, like he didn't know what to say next. I just waited. Let the silence stretch. Your mother's a mess, he finally said. She was up all night crying. I kept my face neutral. And, he repeated, incredulous. And she's your mother? Yeah, the same mother who took money I gave her for bills and spent it on a vacation. He had the decency to look embarrassed. That was a misunderstanding. Really? Explain it to me then. We thought you'd be happy we found a way to go without bothering you for extra money. I stared at him. So instead of using the money I gave you for what it was intended for, you spent it on a luxury vacation and deliberately excluded my fiancé. And that's supposed to make me happy? When you put it like that, how else is there to put it? That's exactly what happened. He shifted tactics. Look, Drew, we made a mistake. We admit it. But cutting us off completely? That's cruel. Cruel, I repeated. Like treating the woman he loves like shit? Like taking advantage of his generosity for years without so much as a thank you? That kind of cruel? People say things they don't mean when they're upset. I don't, I cut him off. I mean every word I say. And right now, I'm saying this. You're done taking advantage of me. You're going to learn to stand on your own 2 feet, just like I had to. Drew, please. Your mother and I can't make the mortgage payment this month. We could lose the house. Then I guess you better start packing. His face hardened. You'd let your own parents become homeless? After everything we've done for you? I actually had enough. I just smiled, a dry one, and told him I have actual work to do. Unlike some people, I earn my living. As he turned to leave, I called after him. Oh, and tell Serena if she keeps posting lies about me online, I'll sue her for defamation. I've got screenshots of everything. The next few weeks were chaos. Texts, calls, emails, all demanding money. I blocked their numbers, filtered their emails. When they showed up at my office, I had security escort them out. But that family drama was leaking into other parts of my life too. My aunt called to tell me how disappointed she was in me. Some cousins unfriended me on Facebook. Old family friends were taking sides. I didn't really care. But about 2 weeks after cutting them off, I was working late. Most of the guys had gone home. I was finishing up some bids when I heard the front door open. Thinking it was one of my employees who forgot something, I called out, "We're closed!" Footsteps coming down the hall. Then Serena appeared in my doorway, walking like a jerk. "Drew, please," she said. "You have to help me." I leaned back in my chair. "I don't have to do anything. They're going to kick me out of school and my apartment. Everything I've worked for, gone." "What exactly have you worked for?" I asked. "I paid your whole life all while you posted online about being self-made and the first real professional in the family." She at least had the decency to look embarrassed. "I was just trying to impress my friends. By shitting on me." I opened my phone and pulled up one of her posts from 3 months ago. "So grateful I don't have to rely on anyone else, unlike some people in my family who never got educated." "That about me?" She tried to stammer a response. "How about this one? First person in my family to have a real career and not just install AC units for a living." "That about my fake career that's paying for your entire freaking life?" "Drew, come on," she pleaded. "Remember when I helped you? That $2,000? When nobody else believed in you? Here we go again with throws 2,000 pieces of shit." I laughed in her face. "Yeah, I remember. And I paid you back about 100 times over." "I'm sorry, okay?" she said, tears starting. "I was jealous. Your business took off, and mine. I'm still struggling." "Bullshit. You're not struggling. You've been living on easy mode with me paying all the bills." "We're blood," she said, pulling out the big guns. "You can't just turn your back on family." I leaned in close. "Watch me. You're about to see what happens when the ATM grows a spine." Her face changed then, hardened. "It's her, isn't it? That bitch has turned you against us." "Don't call Megan that," I said. "Why not? It's what she is. A gold-digging bitch who saw an easy target." I stood up. "Get out," I demanded. "She doesn't love you," Irina continued while her voice rising. "She loves your money. Just like those trashy HVAC Heroes t-shirts your guys wear. It's embarrassing. My professors ask what my brother does, and I have to say, AC repair like it's a real career. Get out." I said, "You know what? Fine. Throw away your real family for some whore. You'll see what happens when—" I didn't hear the rest because I was already calling building security. They escorted her out while she screamed about betrayal and family loyalty. When I got home that night, Megan's car wasn't in the driveway. Weird. She should have been home hours ago. I found her in the kitchen, holding an ice pack to her face. Her left eye was swollen. There was a cut on her cheek. "What hell happened?" I asked, rushing to her. "Your sister happened," she said, her voice tight with pain. "She was waiting for me when I got off work, screaming about how I ruined your family, how I turned you against them. When I tried to walk past her, she attacked me." I felt something dark and cold settle in my chest. "Did you call the cops?" "Yeah," she said. "Filed a report. They're looking for her now." I pulled out my phone, ready to call my family and rain hell on them, but Megan stopped me. "Don't," she said. "It's what they want. They want you emotional, desperate to fix things. That's how they'll get their hooks back in." She was right, as usual. I put the phone down and focused on getting her cleaned up, but inside I was raging. The morning after Serena attacked Megan, 2 officers showed up at our door. They took Megan's statement again, photographed her injuries, and advised us on getting a restraining order. "We picked up your sister last night," one of the officers told me. "She's been charged with assault." "Good," I said. "She needs to learn actions have consequences." After they left, I called Alex, my lawyer and old friend. I told him everything. The money, the vacation, the assault. He said he'd handle it and told me to come by that afternoon to go over protection options. That meeting set everything in motion. Within a few days, Serena was officially cited for the assault on Megan. No jail time, just a slap on the wrist, thanks to her being a first-time offender. But the fallout didn't stop there. Word got around fast, and soon after, I heard through mutual friends that she'd been kicked out of grad school for non-payment and lost her apartment. Welcome to the real world, where daddy's little princess actually has to earn her crown. Meanwhile, life on our end kept moving forward. I tried to focus on what matters to me most. The business was booming. Megan and I put a deposit down on a new house in a better neighborhood and finally set a wedding date. For the first time in years, things actually felt good. And just as life was finally settling into something resembling peace, I got a call from Alex. Apparently, the bank had reached out. My parents had taken out a $70,000 business loan 6 months earlier and decided I was the perfect cosigner. Generous of them to make that decision on my behalf. Alex had already reviewed the paperwork. It had my signature. Well, something close enough to fool a bank employee with low caffeine and zero curiosity. I hadn't signed it, obviously. Alex agreed. We brought in a forensic document examiner because apparently my parents are pathological liars doesn't hold up in court. 5 days later, the report came back. 100% forgery. My signature had been neatly lifted from an old business license app my dad once had access to. Real subtle. Alex called me into his office to discuss next steps. Here's where we stand, he said. We have solid proof of forgery. We could go to the police, which would likely mean criminal charges. Or we could leverage this into a settlement that addresses all your financial grievances with your family. What exactly are you suggesting? A demand letter. We outline the forgery evidence, mention the potential criminal implications, and propose a settlement where they pay back everything you've provided over the years. Everything? I asked. Every penny you can document. Tuition, rent, bills, all of it. He said I thought about it for 2 seconds. My family in handcuffs wouldn't get my money back, and some small, stupid part of me didn't want to see them in jail. I just wanted them out of my life, with some justice for how they'd treated me. Do it, I said. Alex drafted the letter that afternoon. It was cold, clinical, precise. It detailed the forgery evidence. It outlined the potential criminal charges. And it proposed a settlement, full repayment of $214,792.61, the crazy exact amount I'd provided to them over the years, in exchange for not pursuing criminal charges. When we sent it, my dad called Alex the very next day, apparently in full damage control mode, scared shitless about the forgery evidence and desperate to avoid criminal charges. They want to meet, Alex told me. Your dad claims they can work something out. I'm not meeting them, I said immediately. You don't have to. That's what you pay me for. Alex met with my dad and their hastily hired lawyer the following afternoon. He called me right after. They're freaking out, he said. They know they're screwed on the forgery. Their lawyer basically admitted it without saying the words. They're willing to settle, but they're saying there's no way they can come up with that kind of money all at once. Not my problem, I replied. That's what I told them. I said either we work out repayment terms or we go to the police. They proposed a settlement. They'd sell their house, which had decent equity, liquidate their retirement accounts, and Serena would sell her car. Even with all that, they could only come up with about $160,000 right away. For the rest, they proposed monthly payments over 2 years. Do we take it? Alex asked. What's your advice? Bird in hand, he said, which I assumed was lawyer code for take the cash before they screw it up even worse. He'd lock them into a legally binding repayment plan with liens on anything they still had. If they missed a payment, we'd take their remaining dignity and assets, assuming any were left. I didn't blink. Of course I told him to do it. After all, they clearly valued me as a walking ATM. Consider this the final withdrawal. Except this time, I'm the one collecting. The settlement took almost 2 months to finalize. The house sale dragged on. The retirement account liquidation got delayed by paperwork. But eventually, Alex called me with the news. It's done. They've wired the initial payment, $163,257. The remaining $51,534 will come in monthly payments of $2,147 for 24 months. I met him at his office that afternoon. He handed me a cashier's check for the initial amount and the signed settlement papers. It felt surreal, holding it in my hands. They wanted me to ask one more time if you'd consider lowering the monthly payments, Alex said. They claim it's causing hardship. I stared at him for a second. Hardship? You mean like the hardship of my fiancé getting punched in the face by my sister? Or the hardship of discovering your own father forged your signature? Alex raised his eyebrows. Tell them they're lucky they're not in jail, I continued. And if they miss a single payment, I'll push for the maximum charges. They created this situation. Now they can live with it. As I left Alex's office, I felt a mix of emotions. Satisfaction, yes. Justice, definitely. But also a strange kind of sadness. I don't regret standing up for myself for a second, but mourning for the family I thought I had. the family that never actually existed except in my head. Megan and I used a tiny fraction of the money to put in a stone patio and fire pit at our new house. The rest went into investments. Every month, like clockwork, the payment hit my account. Every month, I was reminded that actions have consequences. It's been about almost 9 months since the settlement started. Megan and I got married in October with friends who actually support us. The business is doing great, and we're settled into the new house. We're talking about starting a family soon. Life's good. My parents had to downsize to a small apartment in a different part of town. Serena moved in with them after losing her place at grad school. I heard she's working retail now. Funny how life turns out sometimes. The real professional folding clothes at the mall while the clown runs a successful business with over 20 employees. About 3 months ago, I got a letter from Serena. No real apology, just excuses about being stressed and making mistakes. Asked if I'd consider forgiving some of the debt or helping her get back on her feet. I didn't bother responding. Last week, I ran into my mom at Home Depot. I was picking up supplies for a job, and she was in the paint section. She looked older, tired. We made eye contact, and for a second I thought she might turn and walk away. Instead, she came over. "Drew," she said. "You look good." "Thanks," I said. Nothing else. "How's Megan?" "She's great." "We're great," she nodded, shifting uncomfortably. "Your dad had to get a second job. Night security at a warehouse." I just looked at her. Wasn't sure if she wanted sympathy or what. "We're thinking of moving," she continued. "Serena got offered a job in Arizona, some retail management position." "Good for her," I said. "Drew," she hesitated. "Was it worth it? Destroying your family over money?" I stared at her, genuinely amazed at the audacity. "Is that what you think happened? That I destroyed the family over money?" "Well, the settlement—" "Right. I'm the bad guy." I laughed and shook my head. "Hey, remind me again which one of us went on a secret vacation after stealing money meant for bills? Or who forged signatures on loans? Or whose perfect daughter attacked my fiancée and left her bleeding? But sure, I'm the problem here." Her eyes watered a bit. "We made mistakes." I didn't answer, just grabbed my cart to leave. But she put her hand on it. "Are you ever going to forgive us?" I looked her straight in the eye. "I could have put Dad in prison for fraud. I could have financially ruined all of you for life. Instead, I took back what was mine. That's all the forgiveness you're getting." As I walked away, I added, "And tell Serena that if she sends me one more letter asking for money, I'll add the hospital bill from when she attacked Megan to the settlement amount." That night, as Megan and I sat by our new fire pit in the backyard, she asked if I was okay. "Yeah," I said. "I'm good. Just thinking. About your mom? About everything. You know, for years I thought I was helping them, but I was just enabling them to keep treating me like crap." She leaned her head on my shoulder. "You did what you had to do." We sat there watching the fire, not saying anything else. We didn't need to. We had each other, and that was enough. The money from the settlement? Part of it funded a new truck for the business. The rest is going toward our future. No dramatic gestures, just moving forward while they deal with the past they created. Some people never learn, but I did. I learned that family isn't just about blood. It's about respect. It's about supporting each other, not just taking and taking until there's nothing left. It's about being honest, not manipulating and lying to get what you want. My real family now is Megan, our friends, my employees who bust their asses for me because I treat them with respect. I pay my senior techs more than industry average, offer health insurance, and actually listen when they have ideas. We have barbecues at our place, go fishing together sometimes. That's family. And I'm not that dumbass on Reddit who funds the entitled people for no freaking reason anymore.